Tonight, SAPOL search for 3 suspects in Port Augusta. The wanted men caught on camera. And Broken Hill's Desert Dash turns into a deluge. Locals lapping up the muddy fun.
From our 7 Spencer Gulf Studios, your nightly news with Madeline Kerr begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. We begin our bulletin tonight with something we don't see all that often: crystal clear CCTV. The vision you're about to see was taken at 6:45 a.m. on Friday, October 7 in Port Augusta. It depicts the aftermath of an alleged crime spree around Anstey Street and Denton Court, where 3 people tried to break into a car and then a home. What is thought to be 2 young men can be seen running along the road, but police believe there is a 3rd suspect involved, but he wasn't caught on camera. The first suspect is wearing a beige cap, a black hoodie, black tracksuit pants and black shoes. The other suspect is wearing a green and black puffer jacket, face mask, black pants and white Nikes. Anyone with additional footage or information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000. A major learning experience for a learner driver over the weekend. Allegedly caught drink driving not once, but twice in the same night. Police pulled over a 25-year-old woman in Coffin Bay just before 6 on Saturday night, where she allegedly recorded a blood alcohol reading of 0.056. They say lightning doesn't strike twice, but later that night, police spotted the same Holden sedan driving along Coffin Bay Road. The woman underwent another breath test and still blew over the legal limit. The Port Lincoln local will appear in court at a later date. The wet weather wasn't enough to stop runners from taking part in YMCA's Desert Dash in Broken Hill on Sunday. Over 100 competitors took part, which saw the desert track turn into a mud pit.
Rain throughout the week and on Sunday turned the Desert Dash from fun run to mud run as competitors navigated the waterlogged track. Despite the conditions, it wasn't enough to cancel the event altogether.
People were checking the weather app constantly and seeing it. Thank God on the Sunday morning the weather cleared up and it was only light rains. We were all good to go ahead.
Organisers surprised at the number of people taking part, with one person running both the 10 and 5 kilometre courses.
Yes, we were so surprised with the amount of people that came through. So the total number was about 110 that took part in the event. We had people that didn't come out, but a few more that came out and registered on the day, which was fantastic.
YMCA New South Wales CEO Susanna LeBron was in town for the event. She said that it confirmed to her how amazing the Broken Hill community is.
I saw mums and dads and, guys getting together and women getting together after maybe a night they'd had out the night before. So for me, it was just a real great representation of what is wonderful about Broken Hill.
She has no doubt the Desert Dash will be back for good.
Absolutely. Like if yesterday was any testament, this is an absolutely important part of the calendar for Broken Hill. Mental wellbeing, fitness, community, sense of belonging, yes.
Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
As of this year, the Whyalla Scout Group has been operating in the city for over a century. The huge milestone was celebrated over the weekend, with the Scouts hosting a fun-filled reunion and time capsule opening.
Digging up the past to celebrate the future. Established in 1922, the Whyalla Scout Group has seen many young people pass through their halls over the years, developing strong friendships and outdoor skills along the way. With such a rich history, past members, parents and current Scouts poured into Rosie Street Hall on Saturday to celebrate the club's 100th birthday.
I'm very surprised and very happy that the amount of people that rocked up today. I've never seen the hall so full.
To mark the occasion, the hall was transformed into a museum, with past uniforms, guidebooks and group photos out on display. But the real blast from the past came in the form of a time capsule opening.
The time capsule was Fun and exciting, and we saw a bottle of Coke, we saw some books, we saw some old things.
We've just got lots of memorabilia on display from the past 100 years, like dating back right to like 1922, and we've also trying to encourage people to come along and see what Scouts is all about as well.
The club has continued to evolve over the years, but the core goal of building resilient and confident young people has remained, with Scout leaders encouraging any interested families to come and join in.
Because it's fun and you get more social, then you could make more friends.
The group is slowly expanding, but we've always got room to welcome more. So our joys start from 5 years old and we go right up to Scouts, which is 14, up to 14 years old.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Golf News.
More than a month on from that fateful day in September, the Norwood Football Club is still celebrating their premiership win. The team making their way to the Eyre Peninsula with the precious cup in tow.
It was a grand final for the ages.
Now, they've got a chance. Panos, if anyone can stand up, it's Matthew. Oh my God, Mr. Magic has done it. No one in front.
The comeback from behind win to beat the Roosters by 1 point will go down in the club's history. A day players and supporters will never forget.
Obviously, it's a real feeling winning the premiership here with Norwood, such great, rich history at the Norwood Football Club, and I think a lot of people had us down and out there early, but we just stuck to the system.
The young Redleg side turned around a 17-point deficit in the fourth quarter to claim their spot at the top of the heap. Josh Richards saying the win was a testament to the bond of the playing group.
Pretty special for me, to be able to do the junior program, work my way all the way through, and then play league footy is pretty special. And then to do that with a few guys I've grown up with is pretty amazing feeling.
Now the Premiership Cup is doing a tour of the regions, giving supporters the chance to meet the players and hold up the trophy.
They've put countless hours into the club, so bringing a cup and showing it around to them is obviously something we want to do.
Yeah, love coming to Lincoln and the EP. There's a lot of history, a lot of mates that I've made just from school and then from footy as well now.
The return trip for hometown hero Ben Jarvis made extra special, celebrating the win with his junior club Lincoln South.
Yeah, I grew up being a Lincoln South man. My old man's a president here as well, so it's always nice getting back. I don't do as much as I'd like, so coming back this weekend is always nice.
For the two premiership players, they're hopeful they can do it all again next season.
Thrilled to go on again next season and let's hopefully go back to back.
100% go again. I'd love to finish my playing career at Norwood. It's such a great club to be at.
Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Still to come tonight, how a multi-million-dollar investment in Hobart will secure jobs in Port Pirie. And we chat with the Army veteran running across the country as he stops by Port Augusta. Welcome back. Neostar says a multi-million-dollar investment in its Tasmanian smelter will help secure jobs in Port Pirie. $400 million will be spent on a new electrolysis plant for its Hobart Zinc Works, which help harvest the material. The upgrade will improve energy efficiency, also keeping the business globally competitive.
Our Hobart operation, Port Pirie operation, allow us to recover most of the metals that are in the concentrates that we receive from Australian mines today. This investment today allows us to do that for today, but for the foreseeable future.
The federal government is contributing $50 million to the project. If you're feeling a bit sore after leg day at the gym, spare a thought for William Burnett. The ADF veteran is running across the country, beginning in Margaret River in Western Australia. Now he's in the Spencer Gulf on his way to the East Coast.
William Burnett is a man on a mission. Running 4,000 kilometres across the country to raise awareness for veterans' mental health.
It means so much to me because when I transitioned from the military, I went through a super rough time and I wanted to be able to bring something back to the community so that nobody else had to go through that. And so doing this run was essentially the first step towards opening up those lines of dialogue.
The Army veteran, who has served in Afghanistan, is acutely aware of the challenges facing defence personnel and has already broken a Guinness World Record for ultramarathon running. Port Augusta Mayor Brett Bembo visited William after he arrived in town and surrounded by family, impressed with his dedication. William's run is taking him northeast to Peterborough before he'll cross the border over to Broken Hill. He'll reach his final destination, Byron Bay, in just over a month's time. As for the state of his legs...
Legs are actually warmed up finally. I did 30 kilometres this morning and they've felt the best in terms of performance since the start. I'm carrying a few injuries, but, you know, feeling good now.
Needless to say, the bloke might not have to do leg day at the gym for a while. Daniel Pizarro, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Students at Port Pirie's Mid-North Christian College have a new backyard to explore. With the opening of a new nature playground, kids can now play with dirt, climb on logs and crawl through tunnels to their heart's content.
College board members, families and students gathered patiently for the official opening of the nature playground, with Minister Jeff Brock cutting the rope. And there's plenty of new play spaces the students are excited about.
The double slide. It's really cool. I quite like the big logs and the obstacle course. I like the running track. This goes around the whole playground.
An establishment like this doesn't happen overnight. A lot of hard work from volunteers made it possible.
We managed to source some big rocks, which we have plenty of, and brought them across, and then someone put it together in this amazing site of clay.
Being a creative project, volunteers say they had a lot of fun building it.
This is what we've worked for 3 months to do, was just to get this so that the kids could enjoy it. And watching them play, makes it all worthwhile, makes the long hours and the hard work pay off.
It's different and it has different things to a normal playground, so you won't get bored with it.
Annabelle Francis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Rural firefighters from Broken Hill, Silverton and Menindee have been awarded the National Emergency Medal for their efforts during the 2019-2020 fire season. The small ceremony taking place at the West Football Club on Friday.
13 members of the Rural Fire Service have been recognised for their efforts during the horror bushfire season, dubbed Black Summer.
The Far West sent a lot of teams away to different areas on that fire season, which was very dramatic, and the crews really fought really well to when they went away.
The Far West RFS sent crews for 6 months straight, with some completing multiple deployments.
We had people that done 5, 6, 10, 12 deployments over that 6-month period during that Black Summer.
For some, the experience of those Black Summer fires was an eye-opener, even for the seasoned veterans of the RFS.
Been north a lot, but never in anything like I had to go to out there with the forests and whatever. And the kindness of the people, where their town was actually on fire, and the people that kind, they just couldn't do enough for you.
Meanwhile, a rural fire brigade has been established in Broken Hill, and they are on the hunt for volunteers.
What we look for in a volunteer is someone that is committed and just wants to give things a go.
Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. Best of the best. Trade students in Whyalla put their skills to the test. And an unmissable night at the theatre coming to Port Pirie. Welcome back. The World Carpentry Competition made its way to Whyalla today, giving students a chance to showcase their skills. Tasked with building the same project, a special judging panel was brought in to decide the winner.
Making sure they nailed the brief. Students from Whyalla Secondary College and Roxby Downs Area School competing to see who is the best at their craft. Currently enrolled in Cert 2 construction, the students were tasked with building a sawhorse worthy of winning the statewide World Skills competition.
In South Australia we've been holding carpentry and cookery this year, so this I think is the last heat for carpentry for South Australia.
They all build the same project and are all assessed under the same criteria so that we can in the end up with a state winner that can then go on to a national competition.
The students are given 6 hours to interpret the drawing, cut the materials to size and finally construct the sawhorse using the correct joints.
Quite an intense assessment process, and at the end we tally up all the scores, and first, second and third receive the gold, silver and bronze.
Organisers say the competition is a great way for students to hone their skills and help launch their careers.
We've got an industry judge here, so the industry judge might decide, hey, so-and-so's really good, offer them jobs. So it's a way of getting their skills known out into the Whyalla community.
They're different when they do a world skills competition. They're focused, they're there to do their best, and it's just fantastic to see the kids, their resilience from start to finish through this exercise.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Golf News.
The first African-Australian musical is here and it's coming to the regions. With a combination of hip-hop, Afrobeat and R&B, it's a performance not to miss.
Thought-provoking topics explored through theatre.
The Deep North is a celebration of African-Australian culture, and it's a story that touches on individuals who are trying to not only settle in Australia but find their voice within.
Performing in the regions is something the cast felt passionately about.
It's something we've always wanted to do. I think for us, being that the story is about a regional character or regional town as well, it's only right that we come and show it to an audience here that would really appreciate what we have to offer.
The performance incorporates many elements of African art and is visually striking on stage.
We've got storytelling, we've got a range of poetic movements and poetic words in there, and music, most importantly African music.
Everyone will walk away having learned something new, and the performance is suitable for all ages.
Not everyone is brought up in the same environment, and not everyone is kind of the same, so it's about accepting other people and just being open.
I would just like to say, it's not even about where you're from, it's really where you're going.
The cast is travelling to Port Augusta and Whyalla next. To secure your spot, visit Country Arts SA's website. Annabelle Francis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. Port Power hovers just above the bottom of the ladder in the AFLW. And happy Monday, everyone. We'll have the weather details with Alex Sykes. Welcome back. Once again, Port Adelaide came heartbreakingly close to a much-needed win in round 9 of the AFLW. Whyalla's Hannah Ewings took 9 clearances and 17 touches, but it just wasn't enough to get Power over the line.
Port Adelaide had one of the biggest chances of victory. St Kilda haven't won their previous 6 games, and Power were in strong form at halftime with a 12-point lead thanks to Lily Johnson. The Saints pushed back, clawing ahead during the third quarter and remained scoreless during the fourth, but their opponents couldn't overcome inaccuracies in scoring. At final siren, the Saints marched away with a 2-point win.
We had our opportunities to win. We just didn't put 4 quarters together again, and we're probably disappointed with that because that was definitely a winnable game for us, giving us momentum going into the last round. So we're feeling pretty flat and a bit disappointed, yeah.
Meanwhile, Adelaide are now third on the ladder after bouncing back from last week's loss to emerge victorious against a tough Geelong outfit. The match was almost neck and neck until the final seconds when the Crows managed to hold off the Cats. The thrilling game saw Adelaide walk away with a 2-point victory, 4-6-30 to 4-4-28.
Yeah, I thought it was a great contest. I thought there was probably periods where Geelong had dominance and we were able to hold on. We had won the inside 50 count, but we probably weren't particularly effective going in there. Ultimately we're just a good game of footy and we're happy to come away with the win.
Just one more round until finals begin, and at least one South Australia team is eyeing a berth. Daniel Pizarro, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather with Alex Sykes. Alex, is the rain around for much longer?
Bit of reprieve tomorrow, Maddie, but it's clear La Nina is making herself known. Flooding of varying levels is occurring in parts of the state, including the Clare Valley. Taking a look at today's temperatures, 18 the top in Port Lincoln with a sprinkle of rain earlier this morning. Broken Hill top 20 this afternoon with less than half a millimetre in the gauges. Clare reached 15 degrees around 1 p.m, less than a millimetre of rain today, following the absolute drenching over the weekend. Looking more broadly at today's weather map now, 23 degrees up in Cooper Pedy. Port Augusta reached 20 degrees, 19 in Woodner and Whyalla, 17 in Kadina. Taking a look at the satellite image now, a high pressure ridge over the west of the state will weaken and move eastwards early into next week. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots. Turning southerly in the evening, seas around 1 metre and south to southwesterly swell below 1 metre. A shower or two and 19 in Port Lincoln, possible showers, and 21 in Cleve. Woodner, possible showers and 25 degrees. Partly cloudy in Whyalla tomorrow, 22 degrees there. Similar conditions in Port Augusta, 25 degrees on Tuesday. A shower or two in Kadina between 11 and 21. Possible showers in Port Pirie, just 22 degrees there. 17 around Clare, partly cloudy, top of 23 degrees over the border in Broken Hill. Taking a look further through the week now, possible showers in most of our centres on Wednesday. Temperature-wise, 22 in Port Augusta and Woodner. Port Lincoln 19 degrees, partly cloudy, and 23 in Broken Hill. Moving on to Thursday's outlook now, sunny in Cooper Pedy, partly cloudy in Whyalla, Port Augusta and Broken Hill. Showers around Port Lincoln, Port Pirie, Kadina and the capital. And finally on Friday, Kadina, the only Spencer Gulf township expecting any rain, partly cloudy in Port Lincoln, right up to Cooper Pedy, 21 in Broken Hill. And that's all the weather from me for tonight, Maddie. I'll see you soon with an update. It's back to you.
Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Monday. I'm Madeline Kerr. From all of us here, thanks for joining us. Good night.